She's not had the opportunity to have her own money, make it, determine where it's going to go. And then here's the scary part. She hasn't had the chance to find a man that has the same money values that she has.
I come from a not wealthy background. My father doesn't even have a retirement, so I've got to try to plan to kind of take care of him when he can't start working or stop working.
Oh, did you guys hear that? We didn't even do the callers issue, and what did we just hear? My dad basically is using his kid as a retirement plan. 2 calls in a row where we appear to have parents using their children for their retirement plan. The last call we just listened to, right? Like less than a minute ago. Okay. We got the he borrowed money dad borrowed the money at 19. The kid's now 25, helping the dad build his dream home involuntarily. And now we got this caller saying, yeah, my dad's working, but he doesn't have much of retirement. So we're planning that out. You've heard me say it on this show before, and I will say it again. I was not raised, and I mean literally, like verbally told, not just inferred or anything. No, verbally told. Children are not the retirement plan of their parents. That was told to me by my mother directly. So that's the angle that I come at.
And me and my wife just had twins about 7 months ago.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks.
Sounds stressful.
But my question stems from, I am trying to start me and my family off with baby step 1 of trying to get ourselves out of debt and moving forward. But my wife doesn't fully feel on board to kind of change our living and thinks we're just doing fine when we're going paycheck to paycheck.
That leaves a lot of room for interpretation. Hopefully he will clarify. She says we're going fine paycheck to paycheck. You're going fine paycheck to paycheck because you're out of debt, or you're heavily in debt and you're going paycheck to paycheck. So we have a very young couple here, twins at, she's 23. That is young. Okay. But it is what it is. I think in today's day and age, it's young. I don't think it was maybe so young years and years back, but today, that's a lot, but at least she's married and all of that. So she's done it correctly. Congratulations on the twins.
So I'm wondering, how do I kind of get her on board with this idea and help navigate that whole situation?
Do you handle most of the finances, Benjamin, in the house?
So
here we go.
She won't allow us to combine them. So she has her paycheck that pays our mortgage. And then I am supposed to cover all of the other bills with my paycheck.
How old are you guys?
I'm 34. And
how long have you all been married?
4 years.
So you got together when she was 19? Oh, let's do it, family. Let us pour that tea. I don't listen to these videos in advance. I don't plan them in advance. I just look at the titles. And if the title looks in, I look at the title and how many minutes it is. If it's like a 2-minute call, I typically won't do it. But so he married a 19-year-old. They're 11 years apart, 19, 29, 30. So okay, here's the thing. 11 years apart in and of itself, totally doable in a relationship. It is, okay? The problem is when you're getting married to a 19-year-old, those years, those growing up years, in my opinion, up to about darn near the age of 30, okay? There's a whole lot of brain maturity. I mean, he married her before she was even physically developed as a woman. Okay. Not that that's a requirement, of course, but you understand I think you get what I'm saying. Okay. There is so much growing up. I remember being 15. Oh, heck, let me take it even younger because I was still living at home. So let me think about 12, 13 and looking at the 17-year-old girls, in 17 magazine. All right. They're only 4 or 5 years older than me. Oh my God, they seem like young adults as far as I was concerned. Okay. The age split of 19 to 30 respectively, that's a huge maturity difference. That is a huge span in brain development. Like I said, you're not physically developed yet. You haven't built up enough social skills. Basically, he married a woman. God, I even have a hard see, when I think of a woman, I think of someone who's fully developed. I'm not talking just physically, okay? Don't misunderstand me. But I mean developed as far as you've gone through some experiences. You are now hitting your mid to late 20s stride. You're getting ready to enter 30s. Yep. Okay. I'm not thinking of a 19-year-old as that. They still got a lot of bumps and bruises to go through. There's still a lot of parent hand holding. All right, let's get you your first car. You're not old enough to drink alcohol yet. You see what I mean? All right. He basically married, not basically, it appears he married a 19-year-old. He was 30. He had time. He went through those critical 20 somethings. He went through the critical end of your teens. So he was on board with what he wanted in a wife, what he wants to do in finances, because he's been through 11 years that she's not yet had. That's 11 critical years. It's different. And I think most, reasonable people know this. Let's say she was 30 and he was 41. Okay. Now you're talking less of a split. And the older you get, it becomes even less and less of a split. My parents are a good, I think, 12 years apart. He's 85. She's like, just hitting her mid 70s. Nobody cares at that point, right? So the older you are, the less a age split like that matters. But 19 to 30, you are on two different planets. What's that book? He's from Venus, she's from Mars. Yeah, if you're Gen X, in my generation, you probably know what I'm talking about, okay? No other generation possibly knows it, but he's from Mars, she's from Venus, something like that, okay? Total different, almost generations. So now that he's had time to grow up, mature, and go through his 20s, and she's barely even in her 20s, she's 36 months into her 20s, he's expecting her to be on the same baseball field that he's on at 34. This woman could just buy alcohol 24 months ago, and he's wondering why there's a problem.
And she's how old?
She's 23.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been married 4 years.
Oh, sorry. She's 24. We got married when she was 20.
Well, we will forgive the age difference, but my points remain the same.
Okay. All right.
So y'all are 10-year difference age-wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, 10 years at a very critical development point in life. 10 years ain't so big once you start hitting the 40s. To me, anything beyond 40 is like, no one cares. But really, those 20s, even to early 30s, these matter. You're 35 and you want to marry 25. It can be done, but in that case, it really needs to be a mature 25. Oh my God, I think of the difference between me at 20 and 30. It's like I was a whole different person.
Okay. Well, she's probably not feeling, because you said she's not feeling the paycheck to paycheck, and she's probably not if she's making a better income and her only bill is the mortgage and she's just living her life, and you're the one that's feeling more of the tension.
Yeah.
She hasn't had the opportunity yet to make her own money, keep it, and determine what she wants to do with it. He's been given all that opportunity. He's already made money. Doesn't matter who makes more or less, okay? That to me is irrelevant, okay? But he's already had that. Now he's looking for a partner to share in that vision. She hasn't had that yet. I mean, at 23 years old, married or not, how many of you, let's just take unmarried, okay? 23 years old, how many people want to share their money at 23 with somebody? Even if you love them. Now at 57, I'll give you the clothes off my back, All right? If we love each other. Totally different mindset. I've had my own money. I've made my own money. I understand it. I understand what to look for in a relationship with someone regarding money. I get it. She's also got 2 kids. So she really jumped pretty much from high school at 17, 18. 2 years later, she getting married. 2 years, 2 years after that, she got twins. She's not had the opportunity to have her own money, make it, determine where it's going to go. And then here's the scary part. She hasn't had the chance to find a man that has the same money values that she has. Think about that.
And so I think that's an issue in and of itself that I think would be fair for you to sit down and talk about. It's the why behind Benjamin. I mean, that's what we always say to start with. And your why of wanting to do this is what? Because you're stressed, because you're scared if something happens, like, you're not going to be able to take care of this family. Like, what's the why for you from wanting to even engage a different process financially?
I mean, the why for me is just that we just had kids, and like, my car needs some work. I have picked up a second. I've started hanging TVs and doing contract IT work in order to.
Yeah. So
he is the adult. He's the older adult. Let's put it that way. They're both adults. He's the older adult in this relationship. He's also supposed to be, because there's 10 years apart here, he's also supposed to be the adult that has more experience just because of his age. Shouldn't he asked these questions before he chose to, 1, marry her, and 2, have children with her? Okay? Because it could very well be that they have 2 different views on money. 2 totally different views on money. So he now wants, at his age of 33, 34, he now wants her to sit down, have an adult discussion about money from a perspective that she's never even experienced yet, because she's 23. She may be a mom, all right? But that doesn't mean she has the experience and the knowledge of how to manage money, much less how she wishes to manage money. He being 10 years older, he should have looked at probably this marriage a little bit more closely.
what normally
stuff
happens,
together.
what normally happens when someone first finds us and they start getting really excited about what their future could look like if they were out of debt and in control with their money, because they're in debt and out of control with their money, and they run into their spouse all excited and jumping up and down in the kitchen and say, "I'm going to sell your car." Right? They run into the kitchen all excited, jumping up and down, start talking about what we need to do. We need to get on a budget. We need to cut our spending.
But there's no buy-in from the other person. And to get on any sort of successful budget, there must be buy-in.
We need to get in control. And you start talking about the what. And Rachel was saying, you probably led with the what. And if you did that, you're normal, by the way. That happens a lot. And if you led with the what, you've turned my name into a cuss word in your house.
Got you. Okay.
Okay. Instead, reset, go in and say, honey, I approached this whole subject that's really important to me poorly with you. I goofed in how I approached you with it, and I'm really sorry. You owe her an apology. Then reset and say, and the reason I'm so excited about this stuff, and I think it's really important for us to work together, is because I'm scared to death. We've got 2 kids. I'm out hanging freaking TVs at 34 years old because I'm scared and our money's out of control. And I don't see a good future of us running this household separately. I don't see a good future if we keep doing things the way we've been doing them.
Was this household, I'm assuming, running like this before they had kids? It was just easier to deal with because you didn't have 2 kids. Sometimes I think having kids really it really shines a light. I mean, I'm not a parent, but sometimes I think having children, from the calls I've listened to and stuff, really shines a light, not just on people's relationships with each other, but just how they manage their finances. They were no more experts at managing their finances before the kids than after the kids. And now it's showing. And because, like I said, he married a 23-year-old. He married somebody with no financial experience or very limited. Therefore, she didn't know what type of questions to ask. Kind of like you don't know what you don't know. Whereas at 57, I'm much, much, much more experienced at money. Now I would know what to ask. I would know what to look for. You know what I mean?
and I don't like it the way it is, and it's really bothering me. And when I found this stuff, it gave me a little bit of hope, and I got a little too excited maybe. But honey, I can't keep going like this. This is killing me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a why.
Yeah.
That's a why.
And he's going to find out just what type of woman he married based on her response. We don't know we don't know what that's going to be. But remember, this 10-year age split is at a very critical time of growth development for the wife at 23 years old. There's also something else to consider. Dave said, I guess she makes more money. He's hanging TVs. It's kind of interesting because I was thinking of hanging a TV in my condo. But because of her age, she's mom to 2 kids. And as Dave said, she makes more money. I miss that part. And it takes a lot of concentration to do this. So sometimes I do miss things. There is a part of her that may not wish to combine finances because she doesn't trust his financial ability. In other words, she has been married to this guy and she has no faith in the way he runs money. And she's thinking, I've got 2 babies I need to take care of. I make more than he does. I don't like the way I see him managing money. I'm not about to take my funds and put it into a community pot. Now, that's horrible if that's the case. Okay, that's horrible if she really is thinking that. But there is a very good chance, in my opinion, that could be a huge reason as to why she doesn't want to combine it, which again doesn't bode well for the marriage long term. If at 23 she's going, oh my God, I've married this guy. He doesn't seem to be a really good breadwinner. Not that you have to be wealthy, okay, but hanging TVs. Okay, I like to see you doing that as a high school shop project. Okay, maybe a little side hustle to get you through college. All right. But if this is what she sees is like he can only do this type of work that doesn't pay a lot, not the work itself. Every work is valuable. Every job has value. Okay. Clearly. But she's looking and going, this isn't the family man that I thought I had married. And therefore, she doesn't want to tell him, I just simply don't trust putting my money with you because I don't trust that it's going to go where it needs to go. This is where, open books for everybody, open books for everyone. But like I said, because she's only 23, she has never had that control yet of her money. She's never had it. And she's not about to give it up. You see? They have a problem. They have a financial problem here. Hope they can get through it.
I want to be a good dad. I want to provide for our children. I want to retire with several $1 million and sit on a golden rocking chair.
That's a lot of TVs to hang up.
That's a why. Not, we got to sit down. We got to get on a budget. We got to get this stuff going. We need to work these baby steps. Those are whats.
And if it's a bad marriage, again, it doesn't bode long term, does not bode well long term. She may feel like he's living off of her. It's just a thought. Again, she's only 23. She hasn't built anything yet. And she may be unattracted to him. I'm just telling you what I think, If you're 23, 2 kids, you don't want to combine your money with your spouse, or even if it's a joint account and then you each have your own separate accounts, and she's not even willing to do that either. In other words, it's a straight split. You will never see my paycheck. I'll never see yours. I mean, that's not real good.
Okay.
And if she hears your heart and then turns a cold shoulder to you, you don't have a money problem.
You have a marriage problem.
You've got a marriage problem.
Damn, I'm good. I'm telling you, I if they can't get over this, if they really, really can't, this isn't gonna work. And whose fault will it be? I will put more responsibility on him only because he came in 10 years older. And at this fragile age, that is a whole lot of experience. The experience of a 30-year-old compared to a 20-year-old is night and day. Not so much when you're comparing 40 to 50, not even so much when you're comparing 35 to 45, but that 20 to 30. If this relationship falls apart, I'm not saying it's only his fault. I think we know that, all right? But I would definitely say he would be majority responsible because he went through his stuff. And here's the other thing also to think about too. If he is still hanging, he's 34 and he's hanging TVs, doing these little side gigs, it kind of makes me wonder is what has he done all these years? Again, not that we're picking on any job. I do childcare, okay? I do babysitting, all right? But it's just, I'm also not a parent to twins, okay? He's 34 and this is what she may be doing. And I hate to say this, okay? She's a mom, 2 kids. She's looking at the guy going, you are 34 years old and you're hanging up TVs. I need a man who can actually help shoulder the finances of the family. Sexist? Yes, probably is. Okay. You know, if you've watched this channel enough, I don't care who makes more money. But regardless of who makes more money, if one side does not respect what the other side is doing, you have a huge marriage problem. Okay. If I don't respect that you are hanging up TVs or whatever his other side gig is, and I think that I'm being the leader and provider, okay, because I don't respect what you're doing, you have a marriage problem, even if there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. I had a relationship that they ended it with me because they didn't like the fact that I was a teacher. They felt that a teacher was not status enough. I told you guys, everything I discuss on this channel is my personal experience, okay? These are just the things that I've experienced, all right? So I know what I'm talking about when I tell you, yeah, if the other partner does not respect what you do, it's not going to matter what you do. They don't respect it. I could be married to a brain surgeon. I think a relative of mine actually is. I think he's a neurosurgeon or something like that, okay? The genes did not run as deep on my mother's half of the family. All right. But if I don't respect what you do, it's hard for me to be married to you. So I've been in a relationship with someone who just didn't want to be married to a teacher. You know, it's just not, that doesn't make enough money, isn't prestigious enough, whatever. I get it. All right. I disagree with it, but that's their right to think that.
The phrase you used a while ago ran a chill down my spine. My 23-year-old wife won't allow, you said.
Yeah.
So he's looking to the woman for permission. Ooh.
To which I almost laughed.
Show her not just the what or the why, but the how. So just on a, get a sheet.
And this is going to be hard because she's only 23, and how many 23-year-olds have the vision of retirement and start planning for it and all of that stuff. And that's partly what he's thinking about. So again, this is why I say that split of 20 to 30. The 20s are such a vulnerable age, you know, for many people.
Get a paper out and just put some numbers down realistically and say, hey, okay, here's what we make. Here's what we make combined. Here are our bills. Here's our debt. You know, if we had this much margin, we could be completely debt free. That frees up X amount of payments per month, $1,200, $1,400, $2,000 of just payments that we have. And if we invested that, babe, by the time we're 45, that's what this could look like, right? Kind of do some math and just show her the vision on what you've captured it.
Yeah.
And bring her along in that. So
all right, folks, we got the gist of it.